Hello everyone and welcome back to the Asia Games qualifiers. We're here with our next game between Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. Joining me is Barento Raz Mohammed, and as you can see, we have already loaded right onto the Rift. And taking a look at this, looks like we've got ourselves a Vel'Koz going to Nightmare, not Obladet, who's slotted into the mid lane.
Oh, there we go.
And just to be clear, this is patch 8.10, so that's Talia with Smite before the known bug.
Yep.
So hopefully that's not going to run into any issues in this game, but judging by the score timer, that score line across the thing, looks like there aren't any pauses built into that.
I'm just worried about the fact that no level ones happened when Saint was just sitting in base for about the first 50 seconds of the game. So he's on the map. It's one of those moments when you're just playing solo queue and you're like, nothing's going to happen in level 1. I'm just going to go get a coffee or something.
Yeah, use the bathroom, get a glass of water.
And that's usually when the worst invades happen. So God bless his soul, nothing happened.
This time it ends up working out for him. But now he makes his way down into that bottom lane. Of course, the Lucian Braum, one of the strongest lanes in League of Legends. The double tap along with that Winter's Blight is such a strong combination. But already, Sins looks like he's starting off with that jungle Talia. Scuttle Crab control is the name of the game in patch 8.10 and 8.11. I think that's just what we should rename League of Legends. Scuttle Crab control.
Yeah.
Because it is the name of the game.
It definitely feels like it. This is the greatest skin, by the way. So I don't even care if he loses control of Scuttle Crab. I just want to watch the Galio play with this skin on. It looks a little too ridiculous for my liking.
He's got the chicken in the bucket that he's throwing with those winds of war. Winds of chicken.
Winds of chicken. All right, well, there we have it.
Already, though, it looks like Skyman, that Trundle in the top lane, is keeping the Olaf away from the minion wave. That's not something that Olaf is going to be too happy about, especially because that's not going to be a roaming Olaf. He will be going mono-e-mono against this Trundle.
It's funny because in solo queue, you see a lot of, what's it called, Comet Olafs, because the level 1, level 2 is super good. But going towards this route, he should get the kill, actually.
Oh, Bula's actually getting real close, but no! Skyman gets the auto reset with a chomp and outplays Bula.
Honestly, Bula could have just stood his ground. He would have gotten the kill. But the extra movement he had canceled the one auto attack that would have ended it all. So Bula was in a good spot. He just wasn't able to get the final blow.
And now he's teleporting right back in. Remember, Skyman doesn't have a teleport right now. He's going to try to fight within the minion wave to turn it around. The chomp once again. Skyman is kiting him through the minions and nearly has the outplay, but Bula gets the kill. Somehow that binding hits.
I will say Bula right now is tilting me out of this. He almost lost the second kill. My mind would have blown up just based off that alone. Like, the mechanics aren't there, but he's finally gotten on the board.
No, he's still staying in that lane, and Skyman just teleported back in. Teleport completed. He's level 3, so he might try to run that Olaf down. We'll see.
Look, Trundle is a lot harder to run a person down level 3 than, what's it called, than Olaf is. Olaf was going to be fine with it because he can just keep chucking Qs, but it's going to be much more difficult unless if the pillar is a perfect pillar.
Putting it directly on top of the Olaf just to fling him in. But that's not what we see. Instead, they're just going to continue farming. And Bula, with the slight level advantage, will get to push up. Though he is at a stat disadvantage because it's the Doran's Blade refillable against the Doran's Ruby Crystal and a Longsword.
He should be okay. I say that because Talia jungle in the new patch is super good at being able to pressure out lanes. Remember, this being 8.10 means that the AP jungle item isn't very strong. So that being said, once you do complete it, Talia as a jungler feels pretty sick. So early pressure is the name of the game for the champion, and she should be able to push out the Gragas.
And that's what we see right now as Obladet goes all in, gets flung back, drops a barrel, but look at that damage. That's actually the Electrocute being activated. But here comes Nightmare to catch Sims. He tags him with the slow. He's got the angles, but Sims gets himself a kill. He's still got no support from his team. We'll get a flick as he trades 1-for-1.
Absolutely sad, and he should be. Crayon just wasn't by his side. So if you're invading in that situation,
bring a Crayon with you.
All you need is a Crayon. Yeah. Even if Crayon is just supporting him by pushing the lane, he's got to be useful in one way or another.
He doesn't need to draw within the lines with the Crayon either. He just needs to be there. Ooh, another piercing arrow. Gets some good damage onto Saint. But now Bula still trading with Skyman in that top lane. And 5 minutes into the game, it's 2-2. We're seeing a 500 gold advantage for Uzbekistan. That's a lot of that in that top lane for Skymen, getting that kill and the CS advantage over that Olaf. And then we're also seeing a bit of a CS advantage for the Galio in the mid lane because Crayon didn't roam. I think he might be trying to rush that level 6.
Yeah, so as long as Crayon gets that objective, once he hits 6, then we can start to pay a little bit more of an attention towards Talia, where she ends up going, because skirmishes will be so much more supported. So even though before we were looking towards Crayon to just walk it over, he doesn't necessarily have to do that anymore. He can just push up and just always have the ultimate ready and available for the skirmishes that end up happening.
And soon that composition will be unlocked a little bit more. The Talia-Galio combo, never really something I expected to see, but 8.10, 8.11 has changed things. The flick, ooh, is sideways, not backwards, so Nightmare gets to escape. It's only a dream. He wakes up. Not going to be something that he's stuck in.
Took a lot of damage, though, so that's, even though he will be sustaining based off the HP potion and red buff, now it's going to be a little bit more easier for Galio to push this one in. So a little bit unfortunate that Nightmare ended up getting sandwiched. Has to watch out for himself.
Yeah, try and maintain that strong positioning as now Skyman is level 6. He's got Subjugate, just drops in with the Chomp. 2 turret shots, not sure if worth, but look at that wave. Look at all that CS. There's the Subjugate now in a dive. He doesn't have flash, but he still gets the kill.
Yeah, confident enough in the ulti damage, sapping it away from the Olaf. So he didn't even need the jungle attention. I was wondering if he was just going to be calling Gragas to come over. Just said that I don't need you. I got the kill myself.
Yeah, Skyman really looking to make a strong showing in this qualifier as a Sins. Ooh, he's going to eat that Pillar of Frost. Again, that Trundle just does so much. Is that Chomp Max? It's got to be.
Yep, 100%. Trundle damage in top lane is super good. Remember, this is Trundle needing to go towards Trinity Force more often than not. Usually you go Titanic, Trinity if you're going straight split push, and you do a lot in terms of trade damage. And this is before he hits Sheen. So expect a lot of DPS in the lane. Expect a skirmish in the bottom
they're looking
lane.
for the all-in. HD flashes away. Saint is back against the wall at 100 health. Milky is going to block it in the front. Crayon, meanwhile, not Chaos. It's Chaos in the map, as even Sins is fighting over his blue buff. He smites. Flick misses Obladet, but he does secure that blue.
Literally every lane, every matchup is having problems. Nightmare having problems.
He doesn't
of his
have
own.
flash. He's caught by the slow with nowhere to go. Trying to back out of this. The flash and Winds of War says, hey, winner, winner, chicken dinner to Crayon as Obladet flashes around, tries to get the kill on Sins, but is flicked away at the last second.
See, I respect that. Obladet recognized that he wasn't going to be able to Gragas body slam across the wall. He's like, you know what? I ain't going to go. I'm at least going to get the kill on Sins. It didn't happen, but I understood it.
I believe he had Chilling Smite for that as well, so he might have been able to kill Sins and just maybe missed the execution on that Chilling Smite. It was awfully close, but still, it's now 4-3. Again, 500 gold now in favor of Kazakhstan, as Uzbekistan is starting to slip behind just a little bit on those objectives after the 2 kills we just saw picked up from Kazakhstan.
Like, at this moment, if you're Uzbekistan, you should be focusing more so on the bottom lane. HD has ultimate available for himself. Varus and Morgana is an excellent combination in getting a kill because of the Morgana follow-up. So if I am Obladet, top lane hasn't been working out all too well. I want to be on the bottom side of the map so you can actually pressure Milky and Saint.
Still, though, Milky and Saint just holding on down there. Milky running with the Hex Flash. As HD and Heck, they have got a lot of crowd control. If Obladet were to head down there, he would be able to make something happen. But we've really not been seeing too much. Right now, he's actually taking the Infernal Dragon. His team is grouped up around that area of the river. There actually looks to be a bit of a collapse as Sins is looking to contest it. That's the Weaver's Wall. HD and Heck are split apart. But no, that's going to be Sins too far forward. He dies as the AoE is spread across. Milky soaks all of it and trades his life over. HD goes low, but Saint cleans up the kill. And in the chaos of the fight, Obladet will also fall. 6 kills to 5.
That really started well for Uzbekistan, but the consistent damage of Saint was able to carry it on through. So, I mean, it looked good, but you saw what Nightmare was dishing. It wasn't too much after his first cooldown on Q. So, he was playing it back, and he recognized he wasn't going to be able to help out what is surprisingly a squishy Obladet. He's gone straight towards the AP damage here.
Yeah, Runic Echoes on the way. Not super tanky on the Gragas just yet. Maybe he'll get a chance to build items more and more as we crest over to that 10-minute mark. He just wants to go for the slam dunks.
Yeah, you know, that's my kind of Gragas. When I was playing Gragas in solo queue, that's the same route I went. Just because you can make a lot of solo plays happen. Of course, when you get into the later portions of the game, you ain't going to be doing too much.
Oh, no. Just need to get that very important flick. Nightmare, ooh, not going to be dived by Sins, who just walks up for more follow-up and pressure damage. Meanwhile, teleporting to the top lane. That is a stinger out of Skyman. So he is going towards that Trinity Force, as you mentioned. Not going to finish it off just yet. Sheen is the final component of the third part of the Tri-Force.
Exactly.
Yep. But he's not going to be able to finish that just yet, even though he is about 30 CS ahead. He's keeping that Olaf locked down, and if you take a look at Bula's cooldown for that teleport, it looks like Bula tried to teleport into the fight around the dragon, but was canceled by the Pillar of Frost.
Yep, definitely have a hard time. It's why Trundle has so much control in these lanes. It's very difficult to find a lane and you look towards Trundle that doesn't have a range in the matchup and say that you can basically win out in the laning phase. So Trundle, right now, this is what I'm worried about, is Trundle is not only punishing the matchup, but after a point, will be able to take down the turret. The Chomp patches back was able to now apply on towers as well, so he's going to be able to just chip at the tower time and again. It's going to be on Sins to start the game and push it going. They may have a goal lead, but they need to do something with it and allow Bula some time and some free space.
Whoa, Heck is stepping way too far forward. And the final auto, that's a relentless pursuit from Saint to secure a kill.
And even though they're showing Skyman in the top lane, a lot of is happening in the bottom side of the map. Double taunt.
Ooh, Shield of Duran, taunt onto 2. Crayon looking for the follow-up chase as the slow finds Obladet. Meanwhile, Nightmare just eats another Winds of War, Weaver's Wall, but he escapes. Skyman in the top lane, still nearly 30 CS ahead. Bula is real low, and that Subjugate's ready.
Yeah, right now, Skyman's the only point of pressure on the map for Uzbekistan. He's going to go for the kill.
Subjugate auto and a quick, easy kill. Meanwhile, Kazakhstan are turning now onto this Infernal Dragon. The damage is blocked from Nightmare. So it is 1 kill traded over for that Infernal.
Yeah, superhero Skyman. Honestly, the only one performing on the side of Uzbekistan. That being said, Obladet.
Oh, wow. He's in a real tough spot. All right. That was a lot more burst damage than I expected. And now Nightmare is here. Oh, no. It just doesn't end. Sins gets behind Uzbekistan and just punishes them.
They just don't know how strong Sins is. At the very least, Obladet has the excuse of saying that I didn't even know he was there.
Nightmare saw it coming and eats the flick. Another kill. A double kill.
Just run away.
Sins is starting to turn this around as he gets some damage onto HD. Heck misses the binding, and Sin still feels free to try and fight over this ward. Look at the damage with that Runic Echoes. His team is nowhere to be seen, but I don't think he needs a team at this point. Oh, that binding just out of range as Milky steps up and finally forces back the duo of Uzbekistan.
But they've chipped down the Morgana so much that when she finally goes back into lane, she's going to be meeting Saint and Milky, who are full HP and are already doing well in the matchup. So Sins has such strong value, and apparently Bula's got value of himself, just taking the mid lane tower.
Mid-tier 1, the first turret of the game going to Bula. Looks like he's abandoned top lane and is now trying to force some action onto Obladet. He's finished off that, whoa, actually goes for the all-in. There's Galio as well. They're just hunting for the dive, but Cask doesn't do anything to the Ragnarok. Bula cannot escape in time. Crayon follows up and finally gets the kill as Nightmare backs out under the turret. Meanwhile, Sins holding the top tier 1 safe against Skyman, but even he's afraid of that Trundle.
Yeah, you're going to have to be. And look at how quickly this tower is going to be taken just based off the Chomp resets alone. Has the Trinity Force completed as well. So right now, Uzbekistan are all in the top lane. They're all in. And at the very least, Bula's getting value out of himself. And even though he's died once again, it came at the cost of this mid lane tower. So maybe he can actually... No, I don't know about this.
He actually just used the Subjugate. Crayon. Oh, no, he's got no resistances. Flashes away. Skyman holding on for that Pillar of Frost. No, he doesn't find Crayon, but he finds a Nightmare instead. Shield of Durand and the Winds of War. Good damage. He actually sidesteps the true damage proc, but not enough to survive as red buff is picked up.
There we go. I mean, everyone just keeps trying to test Skyman. Every single one of them. They're like, maybe I can take Skyman. Wait, I don't have consistent damage. Maybe me. I think the only one right now is going to be Saint. So Saint right now with the Blade of the Rune King has enough mobility, lifesteal, and shred to be able to take down Skyman who is right now 3-1-1 and is moving towards the next item.
But if you take a look at that, Raz, he's on the other side of the map. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Milky forces a fight, nearly trades his life for it, but sets it up perfectly. A double kill to Saint.
Now he has 4 kills.
Yeah.
Now this Lucian can definitely do well.
Even better, yeah. He's still on the other side of the map, though. They're trying to push this bottom tier 1 because it's 1 turret to 1 right now. Here comes the wave.
They can continue to push. I feel like they can go for a second tower. Even though Obladet is in the position, they can just look for a kill onto him as well.
Oh, Saint immediately hunts down the dive, and Sins secures a kill as the bottom tier 1 is broken. There's no counterplay from Uzbekistan. Still, HD and Heck are only just now respawning. Nightmare is trying to defend and prevent a tier 2 push, but look at that. Crayon is in the mid lane, and we're seeing what looks like Bula taking the Rift Herald on the minimap.
Yeah, this is when the point of the game when I would start making a bet on how many times this Gragas is going to die. He's built as if
1 in
he is
6.
fed. He's
Oh,
built
no.
as if he's doing incredibly well, but he is so far from that.
He's committed to the build path. Give him points for that. At least he's sticking the landing as Dark Binding from Heck misses. Chains of Corruption still on cooldown from HD, but it's Skyman from behind. He's found Sins. There's the Winds of War, but a great Black Shield keeps that Trundle free to attack.
Yeah, an excellent flank. I will say, though, with that being done, mid lane tower with this cannon wave should be pretty easy task. I'm looking at Obladet as their main form of engage. Whoever walks up a little bit too close to the Gragas is going to get the belly.
As 5, we can see Uzbekistan pushing up. They take the tier 1 and clear the wave all the way up to the tier 2. Do they continue pushing? Bula's still in the top lane, and they've got that Talia dead. They're starting to get some damage, but Crayon tries to turn it. He's got the shield to Durand. Again, a Black Shield denies it. The Death Star fires across, but it's the first kill onto Milky. Saint is starting to eat some damage as he tries to culling in, but cannot deal with the long-range poke of that Vel'Koz. There goes Crayon once again. That's the belly bop, and again, the Gragas goes down. Here comes Bula joining the fight. Cleans up 1, cleans up 2, looking to clean up 3, gets the slow, and Nightmare will fall. A triple kill to that Olaf.
And he's evened out 4-4-3. He was doing poorly in this match, but he's back at it with that flank. So there we have it. And with the wave right behind him, it might be an inhibitor tower if they play their cards right.
And look at that. Skyman is trying to defend top right now, but the mid-tier 2, like you said, has gone down now for Uzbekistan. The pendulum swings back, and it finds Uzbekistan's base broken. But Dragon is up in 50 seconds. We're only 2.5 minutes away from that Baron. And if these fights are already becoming that volatile in a snowball meta, Uzbekistan aren't that far away from getting back into this.
Yeah, you got to wonder, because it was Skyman that I was applauding a lot in this game. He's going straight towards the Spirit Visage, which is not that bad if he's in a team fight setting, but in a split push area, he's not going to be doing too well into Bula. But with that being said, here comes a fight.
Yeah, Bula's in a real tough spot, trying to recall. Scuttlecrab gets him away. Teleport completed. Shield of Durand is a taunt onto 2. Heck holding onto the Black Shield. Skyman goes low, and all of that gold is gone as Skyman goes down. They trade it over for Bula as that's the fight breaking out. Sins tries to chase it up. Milky looking for the Winter's Bite, but they need to pick their targets correctly. A great flick, but the knock-up, and there goes Crayon trying to get another one. Finally, he slams down in this chaos of a fight. Winds of War turns it into a double, and now Milky gets in, but again, that Vel'Koz just fires the laser and chases it down. Oh no, the stopwatch. Nightmare. Oh, he gets out of the concussive blows. Milky's back against the wall. Not going to get that Hex Flash as long as he's taking damage. Tries to get the Winter's Bite for a kill.
Supportal combat.
Gives it up like a fish in the Baron pit.
I don't know why Nightmare was dealing damage. He's in the pit. Allow Hex to do the rest. That's what I wanted. That's all I wanted.
Meanwhile, Infernal Dragon again picked up by Saint.
I'll tell you right now, Saint's the worst kind of carry. He's the type of guy, super far ahead, that he's like, I don't even need to be with my team.
Are we talking about like 2017 Uzi, 2016 Uzi?
A little bit of that.
Like, I've got so much gold, I've got so many kills, I've got a CS advantage. You guys just hold on.
Yep. Later in the game, you're like, all right, I can do this. I can be on the side lane. I can challenge anybody that faces me. So you don't have to look for a fight. So you're just like, well, I mean, we would win these team fights. It's like, hey, listen here.
If you were there.
Calm down. We don't need to. Let's get the objectives. So I'm just hoping that that's not what's happening with Saint right now.
Well, it's 30 seconds until that next objective spawns. Baron going to be popping up, and still we're looking for that top and bottom tier 2 to be broken by Kazakhstan. Uzbekistan still trying to break down that bottom tier 1. They're dropping down quite a bit in that global gold. And still 30 CS advantage for the Galio on the mid lane. Only a 7 CS advantage now for Skyman. He had a great laning phase, but now that we're starting to get into the later portions of the game, it's becoming a lot more dicey.
I really would have much rather seen him get Titanic at this point. Going towards the Spear Visage, I can understand it, but he didn't really need to. I think he's just worried that there's no one in the enemy team that's building resistance.
Sins!
Ouch.
I appreciate the effort, but he got hit by one ability and then immediately died.
So what happens when you tunnel as Talia? You keep throwing Qs and you forget that everyone else has an ability as well. So it gets picked up and he's gone. Yeah,
HD able to get the snare. He's got himself Gwinsu's right now. Looks to be building towards that Gnasher's Tooth for a second item stinger and an amplifying tome.
That's what I love about AP builders, much like Varus and Kai'Sa, that a lot of their build is actually really cool when it comes to the just the recipes involved.
Yeah.
Because Stinger is a fantastic recipe for Gnasher's Tooth. That being said, Crayon's got to get the hell out of there.
Yeah, he's getting real antsy. He actually goes back in as hopefully that shows up. There's Saint showing in from the fight, and Bula going to walk in and clean up another handful of kills. Grand entrance. Gets Crayon in as Milky flashes for the slow. Nightmare with no flash will almost certainly go down here. Finally, he drops. Skyman shows up just to drop the pillar, but Saint, as you said, he's pretty big. He's able to catch us up. He's got red buff. Now, Heck will get the black shield, and Dark Binding forces Bula back.
You can just turn on
Frozen
the
Domain, but like you said, Uzbekistan lead Kazakhstan right to that Baron. They're trying to burn through its health.
I feel like we keep seeing these plays time and again. You got to respect the flank coming out of Bula. He's been doing real well in the post-laning phase of this game.
Again, that Shield of Duran just in case someone were to show up, but Uzbekistan give up the Baron, and Kazakhstan now find themselves with even more of an advantage. 7,000 gold with the Baron buff.
It's mad. And there are so many damage threats here. I thought that the Bula was going to be picking up Titanic, but he ends up going Ravenous. So Ravenous, Triforce. Sure, he is very squishy for Olaf,
yeah.
But at this point in time, there's no one who can actually be amplified or can just deal with him. Maybe if Morgana binds him and you can have the Varus and Vel'Koz just go at it. But right now, at this point in time, he's running wild.
It really is quite scary when Olaf decides to drop down the freight train, pick a target, and just run them down. Especially that he does now have the level 2 of Ragnarok for even more flat AD. And still not quite broken the game open just yet. Uzbekistan now find themselves on the defensive. They're trying to control their side waves. Top is probably the only one that looks to be a concern right now, but Kazakhstan are playing through the bottom, and there's no response from Uzbekistan yet. Finally, we get the On My Way pings from Nightmare and HD, but that's a very unsafe route for them to take right now. They've got some vision in the jungle. As Bula trying to split push, Skyman thinks he's got what it takes to 1v1. There's the Ragnarok. Subjugate is used. Who's got the damage? It's all about numbers right now. And Bula with the Ravenous Hydra gets enough healing. Meanwhile, Banner used on the Baron Cannon. It breaks down that tier 2, and Bula's still pushing to the top lane.
Yeah, they're just going to have at it. And remember, teleport for Bula so he can actually just TP on this wave if he feels like it's necessary.
Flash in order to escape. Tectonic Disruption as the cask will find Sins. He gets chucked in. Redemption to heal it, and Sins goes down. The laser onto 2. The Chains of Corruption is huge as the top tier 2 is broken, but the inhibitor turret has fallen. Meanwhile, Crayon with a stopwatch stalls it out as best he can. Saint dodging, diving, bobbing and weaving as he dodges that final shot. Looking for one final auto onto Heck. And he gets it. A triple kill to be picked up by Saint's Lucian as they finish off this inhibitor, and the top inhibitor is broken at the same time.
Yeah, just because of Olaf splitting at the top side of the map, they have minions now. So here they go.
That's a teleport to protect the minion. Not even going to recall and come back at full health as the bannered Baron Cannon minion is still firing across. Saint steps up. He's getting even more auto attacks onto the Lucian as Crayon leads the way for this Lucian to finish off the Nexus turret, and Raz. Kazakhstan turn onto the Nexus itself after picking up one final kill. No, they decide to let Obligat go with a warning. 2-9-8 is the final score as Kazakhstan take the win over Uzbekistan.